Why should you use Bing ads? This is a great question. I thought the same thing when I first started on, like thinking, should I use Google Adwords? Should I use Bing ads? And really the answer to that, I actually use both. And really with this video, I want to show you really some 9 things that are going to be really important for you as far as reasons why you should use Bing ads. Now, actually, not in addition to the 9 reasons, this is actually just give them credit. This is on Zion and Zion. And they go over some points that I think are really great, so I want to go over them. In addition to that as well, I want to share kind of my personal thoughts and opinions on things that I've found too on Bing, and really just things of really why you should just use Bing ads in the first place. So kind of let's get right into it. So the first reasoning is because they have a pretty good market share. So when it comes to all the different ad platforms online, by far still Google AdWords is still number 1. However, still Bing ads still takes up a pretty nice market share. And really they come in about, I believe, second. And when it comes to Bing ads too, keep in mind that you're actually not just getting ads from Bing, you're also getting it from a couple other search engines too, such as like Yahoo and some other ones as well. So it's not just Bing. So keep that in mind. So they definitely can take up a big market share, so probably more than even what you might think or would have originally thought. And that's really one of the big reasons why why Bing ads is so great. In addition to that too, it's also less competitive, and a lot of people overlook Bing ads, and that could be kind of a big mistake simply because on top of that, of being less competitive, that naturally means that a lot of the keywords that you'd be wanting to target for can be a lot cheaper than, say, Google AdWords. Just to kind of give you a quick example is that I was doing some work for some of my clients, and I found some of their keywords on Google AdWords for about $8. I'm trying to think of the exact one. It had to do with the construction industry. And really it was about $8 on Google AdWords. However, when I went on to then Bing ads, the exact keywords were under $2 so cost per click, or the CPC. And that is a huge difference as far as like how much that'll end up costing as far as the total and everything. So that can make a big difference and save you a ton of money. And that's really where one of the things that I absolutely love about Bing ads is a lot of the times, a lot of their keywords are going to be a lot cheaper than Google AdWords simply because it's less competitive. Next is simply kind of as a result of that, of course, you're going to get a bigger return on investment from that. Now, if you're going to be, of course, spending really the same amount of money, but you're going to get more bang for the buck, of course, you should probably expect a bigger return on investment, or your ROI. And from that, what I've also noticed too is I usually get more clicks coming from Bing ads, or especially impressions too, than compared to Google AdWords. Now, don't get me wrong, Google AdWords is still great and everything. However, Bing ads is still really almost like an untapped resource. Now, it's getting a little bit more and more popular after really all the years and whatnot. So really coming up to really where it is now, it's continuing to grow. However, there's still great opportunity for you to really get in and take advantage of it. Next is then it's really easy to get set up. So I'll be actually going over with you too, as far as just getting your account set up all the way from the basics, and then explaining really everything that you need to know to get started in creating your first ad. And that's really what I'm going to be going over really throughout this course. So the good news is that it is really easy to set up. I would not get too concerned over that as far as how complex is it. It's pretty straightforward. You'll just need basically an email address and whatnot, and you'll of course need some kind of payment method as far as, since this is CPC, or cost per click, you'd be then paying for every time the person then clicks on your ad. So you need some kind of payment method hooked up to your account. However, it's of course really easy to do. So in addition to that too, what's really nice is you definitely have a really great amount of control too. So not only do you have the ability to select the keywords, of course, that you want, but you can really niche down. And what I mean by that is, here, if I continue down here, what you're able to do, I'll skip a couple of these for now, but is you're able to then even sort by demographics. So if you're looking for a certain type of audience, a certain age group, something of, anything that's more niche and whatnot, you can do that. And that's actually incredibly helpful, because when you do that, that's another great way on how you can really save money in order to really find the exact audience that you're looking for. On top of all this too, what I've been able to actually use too is then the geographic targeting, which is then even finding people in specific areas. So say if you want a person in a specific area, whether that's maybe specifically the United States, or maybe even a state in the United States, such as like, I don't know, Texas, just throwing one out there, you can target that. And in fact, you can even target cities, I believe, towns. I mean, you can really go down really far as really niching down exactly who you want to find. So if you live in a certain city and you just are maybe a local business trying to attract new customers within that town or whatnot, or city, then you can be able to use geographic targeting to then just go around that area. Otherwise, you wouldn't want your ads going to somewhere in another state, because, you know, chances are they're not going to be then coming to your store if they're in another state. And that's really what's great about Google AdWords. I mean, sorry, Google Ads, Bing ads, I meant. So regardless, that's some of the main things here. Now, I know I didn't cover all of them here, but I still want to go over really all the tons of different really great details with you throughout this whole course. And that's really my goal. It's really help you get started and really teach you what you need to know in order to create your first ad and get running with that. So if you have any questions at all about Bing ads, please feel free to let me know. I'd be more than happy to help. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.